This webinar will provide detailed instructional guidance for completing the Implementation Plan worksheet as a required component for an application to the SmartMove program. The purpose of the Implementation Plan worksheet is for applicants to provide details about their partner developer's capacity and ability to implement the program. Applicants must complete each part of the Implementation Plan worksheet, broken down into the following sections: Developer Information and Qualifications on pages 1 and 2, Developers' Organizational Staffing, including anticipated new staff hires, on page 3, and Partnership Structure on pages 4 through 6. For demonstration purposes, we have included examples in this webinar of a fictitious entity, including details of that developer and its experience in this construction space. Any resemblance to actual developers, entities, or individuals is not intended. First, on page 1, we start with the Developer Information and Qualifications section. Here, the applicant completes information about the developer company and, more specifically, the qualifications of that developer. When completing, the applicant must include as many known details of the developer and developer team as it can, including the name of the development company, ownership details, such as a list of the owners or shareholders and their percentage of ownership, such as 50% between two owners, or indicating that the company is publicly traded. Details about the legal structure of the development company, such as a limited liability corporation, or LLC, a limited liability partnership, or LLP, or a sole proprietorship. Who is the legal counsel for the developer? For example, does the developer have in-house counsel or general counsel, or do they have retained outside counsel? Next, include details about the developer's main point of contact, including that POC's name, title, phone number, and email address. Keep in mind that this will be used in case DCA or any of its partners need to reach out to the developer at any time. Next, in making its determination of capacity, the program may wish to check references and obtain feedback from other states, municipalities, or other communities where relationships with the developer exist. To that end, please include contact information for at least 3 references that can speak to the professionalism and work product of your developer. For example, if the developer is currently engaged on another project in a neighboring state completing similar housing or infrastructure work, you might want to include a representative from that neighboring community as a professional reference. Keep in mind that DCA or any of its partners may contact those references during the technical scoring process. Next, on page 2, we continue with the Developer Information and Qualifications section. Here, we want to include more specific details about the developer's past relevant experience and its financial ability to complete this project. Using this information, DCA can better determine your developer's ability and capacity to implement this project. First, include details of any relevant past performance or projects of similar scope and size, as well as any experience implementing projects utilizing CDBG-DR or other federal funding. Your developer may have worked with FEMA PA or CDBG-MIT funds. If so, include that information. Next, detail the developer's overall capacity to complete this project on time and within budget. To do this, include details about their ability to conform with federal building, elevation, or construction standards, or green and energy efficient standards. Also, include details about the developer's financial capacity, liquidity, and creditworthiness. For example, you may want to reference a recent balance sheet that details that their liquidity cash ratio is above 1.0, indicating sufficient cash and liquid assets to cover its liabilities. Lastly, detail the proposed financing cash flow plan. Does your developer plan to have all units built and sold to cash flow the project, or will all units be built concurrently to mobilize cost savings? Next, on page 3, we outline the developer's organizational staffing structure, including any new or anticipated new staff hires. We want the developer's current and new key development staff principally responsible for managing the project and its implementation to be listed here. For each staff person, please include their name, title within the developer's company, their position description, and any prior related experience and qualifications. Here, you may want to include the individual's experience managing projects of similar size or experience utilizing federal funding, such as CDBG-DR, CDBG-MIT, or FEMA Public Assistance. This information will allow DCA, during its technical review, to really hone in on those individuals managing the implementation of this project to ensure that the project can be completed as described. Please make copies of this sheet as necessary. Lastly, on pages 4 through 6, in the Partnership Structure section, applicants must provide information about the partner organizations that are assisting with the project effort. This can include financial partners, consulting firms, community organizations, design firms, or other partners providing construction expertise or connections to the community. If not applicable, you can skip this section. Or, if you have over 5 partner organizations or need additional space, please include copies of these sheets as necessary. When detailing your partners, please include the name of the entity, a primary point of contact with the entity, as well as their phone and email address for that point of contact, a description of that partner entity's role within your project, any funding being leveraged from that partner, including loans or grants, and finally, their SAM number, Federal Unique Entity Identifier, or UEI, and their NJ license number. This information will be reviewed to ensure that they are not debarred or suspended from doing business.